Why does your dog follow you everywhere? Into the kitchen, into the bathroom, down the hallway just to watch you turn around and come back? You probably laughed it off, called them your shadow. But science has been quietly studying this behavior for years, and what researchers found is not what most owners expect. Because this is not clinginess, it is not boredom. What your dog is doing every single time they follow you has a reason so specific, so deeply wired into who they are, that once you understand it, you will never see it the same way again. And there is one finding in particular I need you to stay for, because point 5 changes everything you think you know about the dog walking behind you right now. 1. They are not following you, they are choosing you. There is a critical distinction most owners never stop to make. Following implies automatic behavior, habit, reflex. But research into dog cognition tells a completely different story. Dogs are not wired to trail anything that moves. They are wired to track what matters to them. Studies observing dogs in multi-person households consistently show that dogs do not distribute their following behavior equally. They follow one person more than any other. Not necessarily the person who feeds them, not the person who walks them most often, the person they have bonded to most deeply. Dr. John Bradshaw, an anthrozoologist at the University of Bristol who has spent decades studying domestic dog behavior, found that dogs form attachment hierarchies. One person rises to the top, and the behavior that reveals that hierarchy most clearly is proximity seeking, following. Your dog is not trailing you out of habit. They are making a choice dozens of times a day to be near the one presence that matters most to them. Every time they get up and follow you out of a room, that is not automation. That is devotion in motion.
2. Your movement triggers something ancient. Here is something that surprises most people. Dogs are not hardwired to follow humans. They are hardwired to follow their pack. And over 15,000 years of domestication, something profound happened. You became the pack. When your dog's ancestors moved through the world, survival depended on staying close to the group. A wolf that wandered too far died alone. A wolf that stayed close, ate, was protected, and survived long enough to pass that instinct forward. That instinct did not disappear when dogs came inside. It transferred directly onto you. When you move through your home, something in your dog's brain registers it the same way their ancestors registered the pack shifting position. An alert fires, a pull activates, and they move. Not because they were trained to, not because they decided to. Because 15,000 years of evolution built them to respond to your movement the way their ancestors responded to the survival signal of the group on the move. You walk to the kitchen and your dog follows you. You think it is cute. Their DNA thinks it is essential. 3. They are reading your routine for information. Pay close attention to when your dog follows you versus when they stay behind, because it is not random. Dogs are extraordinary pattern readers. After weeks and months of living alongside you, they have built an internal map of your daily movements, where each trip leads, what each destination means, what happens next. A walk to the front door means something different than a walk to the kitchen. A trip to the bathroom mid-morning means something different than that same trip at night. Your dog knows this. Research has shown that dogs can predict their owner's behavior with remarkable accuracy based purely on movement cues. So when your dog follows you, part of what they are doing is information gathering. They are tracking where this particular movement leads, what it signals about what comes next, whether this is a moment that involves them. They are not just following your body, they are reading your intentions. And they have been doing it so long and so carefully that they often know what you are about to do before you have consciously decided to do it. 4. It is the way they manage their anxiety. Here is the part most people find genuinely surprising. For many dogs, following their owner is not excitement, it is regulation. Studies measuring cortisol levels in dogs during separation from their bonded owner found that stress hormones rise within minutes of the owner leaving the room. Not the house, the room. The same room the dog was sitting in comfortably just moments before. Distance from you creates a low level of biological stress in your dog, and closing that distance relieves it. Every time your dog gets up and follows you, their nervous system is doing something very specific. It is returning to baseline. You are not just their person, you are their emotional anchor, the presence that tells their nervous system that everything is okay right now.
When you move, that anchor shifts, and their body responds before their brain even processes it consciously. This is why dogs follow you to the bathroom. This is why they cannot seem to settle when you are moving around the house. It is not neediness, it is neuroscience. They are chasing calm, and calm, for them, has your face on it.
5. When they stop following you, pay attention. A dog who has followed you for years and suddenly stops is not finally becoming independent. They are telling you something, and it is worth listening to. The first thing to consider is physical health. Dogs instinctively reduce movement when they are in pain. Arthritis, joint issues, internal discomfort, even early illness will show up in a dog's behavior before it shows up anywhere obvious. If following you suddenly becomes too much effort, their body may be the reason. A conversation with your vet is always worth having. Beyond health, look at stress. A significant change in the home. A new person, a new animal, a shift in routine that feels small to you and enormous to them. Dogs who feel destabilized in their environment sometimes pull inward. The following behavior drops, not because the bond has weakened, but because their resources are being used elsewhere. Managing anxiety, processing change, trying to find safe ground. And sometimes it is simpler than that. If something happened in a particular area of your home, something that startled them or unsettled them, they may begin avoiding that space entirely, even if it means staying behind when you leave it. The key is this. Your dog following you was never just a quirk. It was communication. Constant, daily, devoted communication. And when it changes, that communication is still happening. You just have to be willing to hear it. 6. The following is mutual. You just do not realize it. Here is the thing about the human-canine bond that most people never consider from the other direction. You follow your dog too. You check on them when they are quiet. You adjust your position on the sofa to stay close. You glance over to see what they are doing. You get up to find them when they have been out of sight too long. The bond pulls in both directions. Research on oxytocin, the bonding hormone, found that it rises in both dogs and humans during close proximity and eye contact. The same chemistry that bonds a mother to her newborn child activates between you and your dog simply by being near each other. What your dog experiences when they follow you through your home is not so different from what you feel when you reach down to check they are still there. Two nervous systems, two ancient brains, both shaped across thousands of years to find something like peace in the presence of the other. Your dog follows you because you are the center of their world, because their biology was built to seek you out, because every movement you make is information and comfort and safety all at once. They are not your shadow. They are proof of something extraordinary, that across 15,000 years of shared history, two completely different species managed to need each other in exactly the same way.